Welcome back to the channel, guys. It's Caleb, the Heikin Ashi investor. In this video, I am bringing you a technical analysis review of the Nifty 50 index through the lens of Heikin Ashi. So let's go ahead and dive right in. The Nifty 50 is the Indian stock market index, and I chose to do a review on this with the Heikin Ashi technique because I know that some of my viewers are from India and they use Heikin Ashi quite a bit over there, and they might have interest in trading this index, or at least looking at it through those eyes and having someone else's perspective. So I don't personally trade it, but I'm going to dive right in with my own technical analysis and how I would approach trading our own United States indexes like the NASDAQ and the S&P. So we are on the weekly chart first here. A couple things to note and to look at. What I have here is the delta indicator here at the bottom, showing differences in prices, kind of a momentum price indicator. We have the Heikin Ashi candles, red going down, blue going up. Over here is the volume profile. This is going to be showing you how much volume was traded at a certain price. And then this one single line rolling through the candles here is the 7 simple moving average, 7 period. So looking at it from a weekly perspective, we can see some very nice bullish action as of late. We had this kind of up and down pattern throughout the course of 2022, moving in a downward fashion. This thing around the summertime in June bottomed out and then began moving back to the upside. We started putting in some higher lows, higher highs, and then that brought us all the way up here into this ultimate high, which took place a couple of weeks ago right here. Things that we'd like to see in this bullish trajectory here are these little rounded bottoms moving us up to the right. Now we are in a pullback now. For my own personal strategies, once something closes below or above the 7 simple moving average with Heikin Ashi, that's a sign to sell or buy. So right now you can see this weekly candle. It is a Wednesday, so the week is not yet done, but this candle is starting to, looks like it's going to close below that. Down here at the bottom of the screen, I've circled in yellow the delta indicator. We turned over several weeks ago, about 4 weeks ago, and then as that indicator turned over, you can see up here we have the doji candle and then this smaller inside candle last week, and now it's starting to move to the downside. So we've hit a top, started rolling over, indecision, and then now moving downward. Let's look at it from the daily chart perspective. So on the daily chart here, make this nice and big, you can see the more prolonged downward action. We have a slope starting to move from this high to here. And then one thing I do want to bring your attention to is this gap right here with the volume profile. So a lot of time has been spent with the price being traded here, even more so down here, some really big profiles. But right here is a giant gap. And so typically what happens with the volume profile and price is if this price breaks down through here, it's going to move pretty quickly to this next area of price volume. All right, so you can expect that. You can see we've tapped into here once, twice, and now a third time. It's kind of finding support at this level, but if it were to continue to go down and break through maybe this low around 19,270, it could move pretty quickly down here to the 18,600s. So that's something to look out for. At the bottom of the screen, at the delta indicator, you can see when we first rolled over here, we started moving down and to the right. This is now in the bearish territory down here underneath the 0 line, and so looking very bearish there on the daily chart. And then lastly, I want to actually look at the 1 hour chart. If you are an intraday trader on this index. The 1 hour might be a high time frame for you with what you're looking at to kind of gauge the direction. And as you can see here, very similar, moving in a downward fashion, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. So downtrend is intact. Volume profile is showing the point of control down here in the 19,450 range. Got a very simple trend line moving down, and I would say I would remain bearish until that is broken, or finding a little bit of support right along this line here of 19,300, going back all the way into the beginnings of July. One interesting thing on the 1 hour chart, if I pull up a volume profile here on the 1 hour, we also see right here this giant gap of very little volume being traded. So I would say if this price ends up failing through this area here, it's going to pass down probably fairly quickly and find some acceptance down in this area. So that could be looking at a 2 to 3% move pretty quickly down there. The same way, if you look over here to the right, we only had about 3 or 4 days where this price ran up 3% through that area. 6 days, I guess, it could go down just as fast. Whereas, we have been in this area here for 40 days, and back here, this price range was about 30 days, and that's why all that volume is there. So, yeah, hope you enjoyed the technical analysis with Heikin Ashi of the NIFTY index. Hope you find some value in that and it's useful. If you like this sort of content, please consider subscribing to the channel. Leave it a like and comment below if there's something else you would like me to review with the Heikin Ashi technique.